With the recent news of AAA teams using robo umps in the 2023 season, it's starting to seem like a reality of having robo umps in the big leagues. I think the majority of baseball fans can agree to an extent that umpires are usually really hit or miss. You have some umps literally calling a perfect game in the middle of the World Series, while you have others that just seem like the worst umpires of all time, and honestly still is surprising that they still have a job. I'm sure many of you can guess a few off the top of your head like Angel Hernandez and CB Bucknor, but honestly what truly makes these umps bad umpires? Well, to keep it plain and simple, they're terrible. They love calling strikes balls or ball strikes, and I've had some really questionable calls in some big spots that actually lead me to my prime example of someone doing this, aka Angel Hernandez having one of the worst calls in recent history. So let's go to 2022. This is an at-bat with Kyle Schwarber, and Angel Hernandez is behind the plate. Right now pitching is Josh Hader. After working the count, Kyle Schwarber goes down looking on a nasty pitch that got a lot of the plate then broke off by Josh Hader. However, it's a ball, right? That's what you think, the rational person. Angel Hernandez actually thinks it's a strike. It's good enough to be a strike, and this entire strike call costed the Phillies a game, which was 1-0 going into the 9th inning. This was really bad for the Phillies because they were still fighting for a playoff spot at this moment. This is at the end of April, so some teams are trying to figure out if they can even contend for the playoffs, and the Phillies and Brewers are one of those teams that went up to those little last games of the season to see if they could actually get into the playoff picture. This is just one example of Angel Hernandez just being a horrible umpire, and just the fact it was in the 9th inning and you had someone like Schwarber yelling at you to fix your zone because it's been bad all game. It's just a handful of examples of Angel Hernandez completely just missing a strike or ball call. So this segment is where I just show you guys some random strike calls because yep, there's one right there, oh, and another one, and yeah, that one right there. See, there's so many missed calls that Angel Hernandez has had in his career. It got so bad for Angel Hernandez, he generally started questioning himself, like, maybe I'm just seeing the game better than others. Maybe I'm the person that's right. He literally gaslighted himself. And then he started to think, man, why haven't I actually umped in any popular or, pretty much important games in the baseball season? And then you start to think he did in 2018 in the ALDS with the Red Sox, and he just bombed it completely. Oh, and then for some reason, Angel Hernandez thought to be smart. I'm gonna actually, contact MLB about this. If you guys do not know, Angel Hernandez actually legitimately filed a lawsuit against the MLB because he didn't get any big opportunities for big games. He pretty much said that, hey, I have proved myself, I'm a veteran, and MLB pretty much said, we're not discriminating against you, and they actually showed proof that he is just a bad umpire. Honestly, the MLB can't really do much because of the Umpires Association. They can't just fire him because he's just been bad. I mean, I'm sure eventually he'll retire and the world will heal again. He honestly still has a job, and I just don't understand how you do this. Like I said, he had a lot of blown calls, especially in the 2018 ALDS, and you had like Benintendi questioning you, man. Like, look at this. If you're enjoying this type of video, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe. And with that being said, let's get into the second ump. And like I said, the other umpire is none other than CB Bucknor, which, god man, this guy has one of the biggest egos in all of baseball. If he gets a call wrong and you tell him he's wrong, he's not going to agree with it because, hey, they're not supposed to, right? They're not supposed to take back talk, right? I respect umpires that do that. But even if there's proof that this guy has had the wrong call, he doesn't care, man. He just wants the game to end. There's many compilations of him on the internet just literally calling games the way he wants so he could go home. Like, this is him punching someone out in a 2-2 count. Bro, I don't get it. I know umpiring is a really hard job, but if you think you've been doing it for so long, you would kind of know what you're doing for years on end. Also, if you guys do not know, Bucknor has an extremely large strike zone. And when I say extreme, just look at this. According to umpire scoreboards, he is a 92% accurate most of the time, and his consistency is also 92 when he is umpiring. So when you have a guy calling about 200-300 pitches per game max, he is going to get around 28 really bad calls, which should have gone the other way. Now, like I said, not every umpire is perfect. That's just the reality of baseball. You're not gonna have a perfect umpire, and that's why people really want robo umps. And because it's going to be coming from the AAA system, as long as it does really well in AAA, it'll come to the big league. But on the case of CB Bucknor, what are we doing? CB Bucknor's career has been full of literal bad calls, and some are just so bad you have major league managers literally telling you need to retire. My personal favorite CB Bucknor call is when he said that the ball hit the bat and it was a foul tip, which ultimately ended the game. That is not a foul tip. You are clearly watching what I'm watching right now on the screen. That ball and bat was nowhere near each other, but CB Bucknor wanted to end the game on his terms, I guess. There's also plenty more in the MLB, and there's some umps that do really well. If you guys want a video on umps that do really well, or kind of a part 2 of the series, let me know. And the last umpire I want to talk about today is none other than Jason Donald, which called a safe play on the last out with a perfect game of Armando Galarraga. I'm sure you guys have seen this clip a bunch of times, but man, look at Galarraga's face, dude. He was so close to a perfect game, and he actually got credited for it later on in his career. Actually, funny enough, Jason Donald actually apologized for it and, you know, owned up to his actions, which is something umpires don't do a lot of the time, so I respect you, Jason Donald. Personally, I think if robo umps work out great in AAA, it would honestly be amazing to have a similar system in the big leagues. The argument will probably end up coming down if to batters or pitchers enjoy it, or if the real people umpiring behind the plate is more beneficial to each side. It's going to be really interesting to see how they test the system out come the 2023 AAA season. I would love to see AAA also try the challenging system where you can challenge a call of an umpire to see if it was truly a strike or a ball, and have the robo ump do it yourself, while also having a dedicated system to see if a ball or a strike is actually correct. I think that would be a perfect system, and honestly someone like Angel Hernandez would not be able to last, I'm not gonna lie, or CB Bucknor. I don't understand how they would actually be able to figure that out, because man, they miss so many calls. Do you guys think robo umps are needed, and is Angel Hernandez really the worst umpire of all time, or is it CB Bucknor? Let me know in the comment section down below. What are the worst calls you've ever seen from an umpire? And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.